Hi everyone, Velvet here, and I have some stories for you today. But before we get started, can you please do me a huge favor and like, comment, and subscribe? It'll really help the channel out, and it'll get you more videos like this every day. Let's get started. Our first one comes from Firm Tomatillo 6320. Am I the beehole for canceling my best friend's bachelorette party after she fired me as a bridesmaid? Gonna try and sum this up the most I can. I'm a full-time student, so I'm currently living off of student loans and what little hours I can work outside of school. I spent around 1K on my best friend's wedding so far. 350 on the bridesmaid's dress, 350 on the flight home to attend the wedding as I'm away for school, and about $100 on the gift I sent for her bridal shower. The maid of honor is currently very pregnant and having a rough time. She asked me to plan the bachelorette party, and I agreed. I planned it perfectly and had it as a surprise. I messaged the other girls the plan. When they all agreed, I went ahead and booked my idea. I spent this on top of the $1,000 I spent earlier, $400 on a limo to go bar hopping. The bride loves bar hopping, and I booked us a $700 Airbnb to crash in afterwards. As of right now, the other bridesmaids did not chip in. This was out of pocket, but they said they would pay me back later. About a month later, I and two other girls got kicked out from the bridal party group chat along with a paragraph from the bride saying we are no longer invited because we weren't honoring her wishes. When asked, she didn't answer what she meant or what we had done wrong. 2 days passed, and she adds us back to the chat and apologizes saying that she's just stressed. We all talk about it and make up. Yesterday, the same thing happened, except this time, I'm the only one removed with a paragraph going off on me, telling me I'm not respecting her or her wishes, that she wishes she had never invited me or asked me to be a bridesmaid. When I asked what happened or what I did wrong, again, radio silence. Today, she messaged me apologizing, saying she's sorry for lashing out and that she'd like me there, but not as a bridesmaid, as it would make her uncomfortable, and that I'm not allowed to wear the dress I had already bought as it's a bridesmaid's dress. I told her I respectfully declined as I could not afford another dress, as I've already spent too much on this wedding, and that I didn't want to make her feel uncomfortable on her big day. She then lashes out at me, telling me I should just take more from my student loans to go buy a second dress. So with that, I went and canceled the Airbnb and the limo, and I told the other bridesmaids what happened and they all agreed it was fair. One of them must have told the bride about her secret bachelorette party, as she messaged me telling me I'm a beehole and I've ruined her entire wedding, as she now doesn't have time to book a new bachelorette party in time, and she nor any of the other bridesmaids have money or savings to book anything. I also managed to get a refund for my flight, so really I'm only out about $450 for a wedding I'm no longer invited to. Am I the beehole for canceling the party and getting the money back? Okay, so this is a very easy one to judge. You are not the beehole. I do not know what's going on with that woman. Is she crazy? Is she being a bridezilla? I guess she's being a bridezilla because she's over there messing with you, not telling her reason why she's kicking you out of the group chat and treating you this way. And also, you are 100% not in the wrong for canceling that. Judging from that sentence where you said her and the bridesmaids don't have money, they weren't going to pay you back, and they know you have student loans. And also, why are you wasting your money on a wedding that's not your wedding? That's so stupid. No offense, OP, but that's extremely stupid. Don't waste your money on somebody's wedding like that, especially if it's student loans. The only thing I would say where you kind of messed up was telling the other bridesmaids. I think it would have been funnier if the bride showed up and got none of the benefits. Also, I just realized they kicked you out of the wedding, but then they want to get all the benefits of what you did and what you paid for. That's not your friend, OP. Don't go to that wedding. And honestly, I would cut her off. The way she's been acting, you don't need someone like that in your life. Okay, I went down in the comments and got some more info. So first, Tiny Shelter 440 asks, something is missing here that kept you hanging in there in the first place. Has anyone ever told you what she meant by respecting her wishes or her being uncomfortable? When you all talked about it the first time, did anything make sense? Nevertheless, not the beehole. Why is she comfortable spending your money on her party? Why are the others still comfortable being in her party? Now, the OP says, ah, yes, I did not include this part. Sorry, my bad. So, the first time she messaged us, she didn't tell us nor explain what we were doing wrong. When we all first discussed it, she said that she had a moment of panic and stress took over. And she said things that she didn't mean. The most recent time she had told me she had been uncomfortable was due to the fact we had a fight. The fight was just her removing me from the group chat and then cursing me out. She never told me what I wasn't respecting her wishes or unfortunately. But I will say she did know she had a bachelorette party, but the surprise was that what was it going to be? I have spoke to the maid of honor since this post and she said that the bride told her she just didn't know how she felt about a skinny girl next to her at the altar. First things first, OP, add that to the bottom of the story because that does help a bit. So she's just angry about her weight and that you are skinny and well, assuming since she's mad at you being skinny, she's not skinny. That's the reason? Seriously? What kind of childish nonsense is this? OP, like I said, cut her off. She had no problem spending your money and had no plans. I know none of them had plans to pay you back, OP. I'm glad you kind of dodged a bullet. You're out 450, I think you said in the thing. Better than thousands, better than 1,000 something. Yeah, OP. Ooh, yeah. I'm glad you got out of that one. Stay out of that one and enjoy your day. Our next one comes from background carrot 694. Am I the beehole for telling my dad it's not my job to make sure my half-siblings have a mom? My parents divorced when I, a 17-year-old male, was 5. I'm not sure on why. Part of me has always figured dad cheated on mom because he was with someone suspiciously fast afterwards. Like that same month fast. But my mom has never spoke about it. She just told me both she and my dad love me, and that would never change and I would never have to choose between my parents. My dad was in a 2 live-in relationship post-divorce. When I was 7, he was with Jen, and he had Luna, a 9-year-old, with her, and then when I was 10, he was with Bree and had Harry, a 7-year-old, with her. Jen and Bree both stopped being moms to their kids, and so my dad became a single, full-time parent to my half-siblings. From that point onward, my dad has tried to convince mom she could step up and at least fill in some kind of female role model relationship with them. He also corrects me on the half-siblings term and says we are just siblings, and if I were to call them just my siblings, it might soften mom's heart to being a female or maternal figure to them. He would ask mom on my behalf to let me and my half-siblings over to her house during the custody time. My parents share equal time with me. He would claim I really missed my half-siblings when I was gone, and would claim I wanted to spend every holiday with them, etc. None of this is true. I never said those things or implied them. Luna is having a really hard time having no female family members. She has a dad, 2 half-brothers, and an uncle. So dad has been more forceful about mom's part in all of this lately, and now he's trying to rope me in more. He sat me down recently and told me my half-siblings deserve to have moms, and I could help them out with that. I could share my mom and let them feel the love that they deserve to feel. He said I have always treated them like lesser siblings. First, with always using half, and then not trying to include them in my life at my mom's house. He told me this is where my role as a big brother really needs to take off. In response, I told him it's not my job, has never been my job to provide for my half-siblings with my mom. I told him it was on him and their actual moms to do that. And I told him it was sick how he kept trying to rope my mom in. I told him to accept that he only had 1 kid with mom and she's only obligated to care for me. His answer to that was I was disappointing him with my response and lack of concern for the overall well-being of my half-siblings, and he told me to do better, be better, and care more about my innocent little siblings. I told my mom about it, and she tore dad a new one for putting this on me. She told me that I'm not in the wrong for what I said to him, but my uncle also said I could have been more compassionate for my innocent half-siblings. Am I the beehole? God, I hate that phrase. Be better. Do better. It's the new, it is what it is for me. Sorry, I went off on a tangent there, but no, OP, you are not the beehole. Your father is the beehole. And I agree with you, it probably is cheating. Usually if someone can get with someone that fast after a divorce or a breakup, they've probably been with them before all of this went down. OP, you are 100% in the right about you and your mom. It's not your job to take care of those kids. That's your father. He is the one who messed up, cheated on your mom, got with 2 women, had kids with them, and now he has to deal with those kids. And for your mom, those are not her children. She's only obligated to take care of you, her child. Your father is a ghoul, trying to force this on you and trying to make your mother step up being a mother to those kids when they have mothers. He needs to go find those women and, I don't know, drag them back, make them be moms, get child support. I don't know, do something, but it is not you and your mom's obligation to take care of those kids. Oh, and as for your uncle, his opinion has no relevancy here. He needs to stay the hell out of it. Honestly, OP, if you can, I would say the best thing you could do is go stay with your mom. Sounds like your mom really loves you and you love your mom. I think you get along just fine with her. Let your dad wallow in the mess he made. And our next one comes from Still Stormy. Am I the beehole for telling my daughter, who is facing homelessness, that her and only her baby can move in with me, not her husband? The husband has lived in their apartment for a number of years. The owners recently sold it and the new ones are moving in, so my daughter and her husband have to move. The problem is the rents have gone up dramatically. The rent they were paying was $1,100 for a one bedroom, which I thought was a lot. But now that I'm trying to help them find a place, most are now going for around $2,000 a month or more. They can't afford this. My daughter knows she's always welcome at home. Granted, a baby complicates things, and I wasn't happy about her having a baby. She's young, she just turned 22. But I would never deny her housing. However, I can't stand her husband. Let's just call him Aaron for simplicity's sake. I wouldn't invite Aaron over for dinner, let alone let him live with me. Aaron's in his mid-30s, criminal history, hair trigger temper, chronically immature, and has one hell of a jealous/possessive streak that has caused strain in their relationship, which I obviously do not approve of. Honestly, when she told me she was pregnant, I finally thought we'd be rid of Aaron. I genuinely thought he's exactly the kind of man to ditch. They've been on and off over and over since she was about 18/19. Alas, if anything, it made him cling to her tighter. They had a very rushed wedding, and this is their longest stint together without any breakups, just over a year. There's still been a fair share of dramatics, of course, but I'm surprised they've made it this far. Even so, I simply don't want to live with Aaron. I don't like him. I don't want him around me. I'd go above and beyond for my daughter and the baby. They can stay as long as they need, but not him. Obviously, this has created a rift between my daughter and I. She doesn't want to live separately from Aaron. I told her then she needs to figure out an alternative arrangements. Well, their move date is rapidly approaching, the 15th of December, and they still have not been able to find a place, and she is panicking. She's been begging me to let them stay. I reiterated my terms. Aaron simply cannot stay here. This led to a lot of tears and some angry words, namely me being a beehole. I can genuinely see why she might think that, but I also have to think about myself and my own sanity. Hi, OP. I'm gonna say you're not the beehole. I don't think I have too much advice for you, because you're doing what I think you should do. I agree, like, help your daughter and help the baby, but do not bring that man with him. Because, from what it sounds like, he's going to come in that house and try to dominate that house and rule over you and make your life a living hell. As much as you want to save your daughter, she's grown and she made a big decision to have a child and get with that man when he sounds like a terrible person. You need to protect yourself. Bringing him into your house would only put you and your life in danger and make things worse. Everyone should feel safe in their own home, and he will take away that safety from you, from what you said in your story, from how he likes to act and how he is. And our final one comes from Hunting Tackle 6997. Am I the beehole for moving out after my parents told me to give my space to my brother and his family? I, female, age 27, live with my parents. I have a job and have been helping them pay rent and buying groceries. My brother is married and has two children, a 2-year-old and a newborn. He recently lost his job and has asked my parents if he can move in back until he's back on his feet. My parents told me that I would need to move out of the basement suite in the house and into my mom's hobby room, while my brother and his family stay with them. I did not agree, and they said it was their house and their rules. I don't really own a lot of stuff. Everything in the suite belongs to them. I don't even own my bed. I packed up my clothes and my laptop and went to work like usual. I work out of town for 14 days, then I get 7 days off. While I was at work, I booked an all-inclusive for my week off. It cost me less than rent and food at my parents' house. I told my parents my plans, and they were cool with it. I started getting texts a few days ago asking where my rent and grocery money was. I said that I moved out, and that if I wasn't living there or eating there, I wasn't going to be giving them money. They got really upset because they were counting on the money to help support my brother. They said that I moved out with giving notice. I said that they literally gave away my living space and that I didn't owe them anything if I wasn't there. I asked them how much they're charging my brother. I was giving them $1,800 a month, Canadian money, for rent and food. I was only home a maximum of 14 days a month, usually less. My brother called me to say that I was a B for not helping them out. I pointed out that he hasn't sent our parents money when he was employed. He said that he had a family to support, so he needed his money. He said that if I came back and his parents' family would move upstairs, I could have my space back. I had actually done the math though. I can stay at an all-inclusives, which covers my room, maid service, food, alcohol, and entertainment for 2/3 of what I was paying my folks, and I don't have to live through Edmonton winters when I'm not working. I sent my parents $500 to help them with the groceries, then I went to the beach. My parents, my brother, his wife, and a few fair of my other relatives are saying I'm a beehole for abandoning them in their time of need. I think if I'm not there, I shouldn't have to pay anything. Am I the beehole? Hi, OP. I'm gonna go with you're not the beehole. Like you said, you're not there, you shouldn't have to pay them. Your brother wasn't there, and he didn't have to pay them. And why do you have to support him? Yeah, that sucks he lost his job. But if you lost your job, why are you acting like a jerk to people? Why wouldn't you try to be as nice as you can so people would help you? And also, shame on your parents for using you like that. You moved out and they still expect you to send them money and they're surprised they didn't get grocery or rent money. And oh my god, they are charging you a lot. Looking down in the comments, I'm going to agree with Sushi Gucha DNA, not the beehole. As you say, you were renting a space, they threw you out. In addition, it sounds like they were overcharging for a space, giving that you found a space that's better for less money. Now, there's nothing wrong with helping your parents, so I wouldn't necessarily say your old rent was a problem. But it's crazy they would kick you out and expect the rent and grocery money to remain unchanged. I can't tell if your parents are beeholes or just oblivious. You make an excellent point about how your brother wasn't sending your parents money when he was employed. That makes it doubly clear that your payment was for the rent and food, not just because. Honestly, I think it's healthier for you to be on your own anyway. It's natural for children to become more independent as they mature. I agree with you. And you're kind of already doing it. Like you say, you're only home for 14 days a month? So nothing's really changing. You just get to save money and not have to deal with the headache of dealing with your parents and your brother coming back home, trying to find a job and dealing with kids. Yeah, OP. I mean, I think it's fine if you want to send them a little flip here and there, but if you can do it, stay on your own. Sounds like you're having a better time already. I wish I could go to the beach. It's been a while. Thank you so much for staying with me to the end of this video. Can you please do what I said in the beginning and like, comment, and subscribe? It will really help the channel out, and it'll get you more videos like this every day. Velvet out.